Tate, he needs to collect points. He needs to bring this boat home. This would be a great effort if he can get this boat across the line. It's obviously wounded. James Tate in the GP 55, ladies and gentlemen. He needs to get it across the line for points. And put your hands together, folks. James Tate, he will get the boat home and collect points towards the championship. Well done. In the 4th place. James Tate, ladies and gentlemen. Grant Harris. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our Auslight hydroplanes are on the water for the NDC Heat 1B. Boats we're looking for: Wendy Geelan in the Miss Hydromania, the Melton Toyota 100, the S15 Dewey, not here unfortunately, Biohazard Oscar Stevenson, Holy Smoke Kim Byrne, and Tyler Scott in the Little Hurricane. White flag's high, flag drops, and you know what stops? We're racing. Wendy Geelan on pole. Biohazard gets a cracking start on the outside. Grant Harrison outside, and here is Tyler Scott in the Little Hurricane, and then Kim Byrne on the far outside with the Mazda engine running strong in the Holy Smoke machine. Back straight away now, and it's Oscar Stevenson who has grabbed pole off Wendy Geelan, and she goes out the back door quite substantially. Not sure if there's a problem there or not, but she gets going again now in the Miss Hydromania. That's a shame. She had a good run down into turn number 1, but the battle is going to go on between these two hard chargers. Oscar Stevenson, his foot will not lift, I can absolutely guarantee you there, and I could probably say the same thing about Grant Harrison as the Melton Toyota Melton Toyota 86 or 100, whatever you want to call it, is down the front straight away. Side by side, gunnel to gunnel and deck to deck as they tip into the bottom turn. Harrison round the outside of Stevenson at the moment. Stevenson doing a good job. I tell you what, there's a real battle going on for 3rd, 4th and 5th at the moment. Wendy Geelan on the inside there. Tyler Scott on the outside of her, and then on the far outside is Kim Byrne. So it's a race in 2 at the moment. Have a look at these two absolutely going at it. The Melton Toyota 100, which is what I tried to spit out before and couldn't do, is doing a beautiful job there. Oscar Stevenson and Grant Harrison exit turn number 2, gunnel to gunnel and deck to deck. Now Harrison starting to stamp some authority, as he did in his Grand Prix boat as well. He's been a busy boy this weekend. Oh, and he stands the boat right up. Be careful there, Harrow. Stevenson does the same thing as these boats, dancing from sponson to sponson. Down through the bottom turn, and Harrison's really having to think about what he's doing here at the moment. Probably been challenged harder in this category than he was in the Grand Prix category. Great little battle going on for 3rd and 4th respectively there between Tyler Scott on the inside and the Little Hurricane and Kim Byrne in Holy Smoke. Top turn now, and it's Harrow, who's got a good little break now for 1st place, and he's going to pick up the yellow flag and set off on his final lap here for Lucas Oils in the National Drivers' Championship Heat 1B. Oh, Harrison nearly blew it over! Oh my goodness! There was nothing in the water. The boat, absolute heart-stopping stuff. I tell you what, he'll be out to the Heathcote dry cleaners after that one. Harrow nearly over backwards. That's as close as I've ever seen one without one actually going. Harrow's trying everything very, very hard. Tyler Scott, same deal, dancing from sponsor to sponsor. Kim Byrne on the outside of him. Harrow, he'll be glad to see this checkered flag. I tell you what, that was wild. That was off the scale. Grant Harrison, what a drive to save. That was absolutely impeccable. Well done, Grant Harrison, taking the win in Heat 1B of the National Drivers' Championship for 2026 for Lucas Oils. Oscar Stevenson into 2nd place. Coming up through the top turn now, and it is Little Hurricane. Tyler Scott will pick up 3rd place. A great run from him. Kim Byrne comes through for 4th place, and Wendy Geelan rounds out the field. And that wraps up the 1.6 litre Auslite hydroplanes for the National Drivers' Championship. And I think, Rusty, who have you got down in the pits here for us, please, mate? I think Rusty's got someone down the pitch. Got someone down the pitch for us here, Russell? We've lost poor old Rusty by the sounds of things. He got too excited. Oh, Harrison.
Yeah, hey, Bisho. I got James Tate down here in the pits. GP 55, the high tension hydroplane. Bit of an unfortunate second last or last lap there, James. What happened?
Just my stuff up, really. Firstly, I just want to thank the crew. We had a bit of a time crunch there with a few exhaust push rods needed changing out. The boys worked through that problem pretty systematically, so we didn't really get to lean on the tune-up. Yeah, it was pretty tight coming through that sort of first turn there. There wasn't a great deal of room coming from the inside boys, so we're just sticking to Ben's wash. Had plenty down the back straight. We're starting to wheel them in. But as the laps go on and the big old girl, she leaves some big holes. I found myself inside one of those holes, and once you bury the sponsons, there's no real excuse for it, but there's no coming out of it except going around. Seems to be like minor damage on the boat, something we'll have to assess. Hey, that's racing, boats are good. He had plenty of room. He's seen me. Felt like we finished the laps. We didn't see the checkered. But at that stage, you know, we'll just cruise around, try and finish the heat. So.
Yeah, points are important, and from where I stood, I think you did finish it out. We can see that the boat looks okay. Your canards are facing in all different directions, but hopefully just a bent rod or something you can overcome.
Yeah, so these run on like a Robotech controller, so they are linked with a shaft, but they run in 2 independent motors. Obviously, once it's gone around, it's picked up a heap of water, and you know, we've either twisted something or we've stripped one of the motors. We've got some spares. There's some composite damage that we'll be doing some resin repairs tonight. Boys are checking over the engine now, so I'll pull apart the canard system and we'll see what's going on there. Other than that, you know, a few minor marks and dings and bashes, but that happens with these things. They're always trying to break themselves.
Mate, you got a heap to do. I appreciate you spending the time with us.
Thanks everyone for coming out. Cheers.
Thanks very much, Rusty. I'll tell you what, mate, you need to get down and talk to Grant Harrison, because I tell you what, how he did not blow that boat over is absolutely beyond me. So, mate, if you can find him, he's just down on the bank at the moment. We need to have a chat with him about that one. That was wild.
Yeah, Grant's still sitting in the boat. I tell you what, he's doing a heck of a lot of work this weekend. He's jumped from boat to boat to boat. If anyone ever doubts that Grant Harrison is committed to powerboat racing, they do not know what they're talking about. He's done a great job this weekend, and as soon as he's extricated from cockpit number 2, we'll catch up with him.
Yeah, thanks, Rusty. That was absolutely awesome. The way he pulled that boat back down and got onto the canard wing and pulled it back down, that's his Grand Prix experience, I reckon, and it's awesome. I'd love to hear what he's got to say about it. Thanks, Rusty. Doing a great job, mate. Ooh. All right, here we go. Junior racing, ladies and gentlemen, and they are onto it. And a great start there from JD Land down the outside in the purple coloured cowling. He rocks and rolls through, and the rest of the field chases him down. Young Andy Cameron, he's on a hard charge down through the bottom turn number 1. And in fact, he arrived about last. He's exited second, so he's doing an awesome job there, Andy Cameron. It's actually Max Cameron, it's not Andy, isn't it? It's his brother, Max Cameron, I should say. Get my Cameron boys confused. But Max is doing a great job there up the inside. But it's JD Land back to Max. Then on the outside of him, it's Cash Hamilton. I think you can throw a blanket over this lot. On the outside is the Prime with Chase Hamilton. Inside him's Levi Whitten. And then you've got the little weapon there, Tyler Kirkpatrick. Then it's the GP 101, Brodie Little. Then Emerson Walker, and on the outside of her is the Little Menace with Jet Howard. So very evenly matched, all these little boats. These kids driving beautifully, but I tell you what, the one that's really got a big break on the field now is JD Land. Doing it for Land Transport out there is young JD. He is a serious operator, this kid. Can't wait to see where his career takes him in powerboat racing, because Mum and Dad are just a little bit passionate about it, aren't you, Sherry Lee? It's going to cost you money, girl. Don't worry about that. JD absolutely smoking him at the moment. And Cash Hamilton, all he can do is watch him drive away, but he's got challenges coming from everywhere as well in the form of Levi Whitten and also his brother, Chase Hamilton, in Prime. Then it's a little weapon, Tyler Kirkpatrick, I should say. GP 101, little GP 101, of course, not the GP 101. It's a bit quiet and small for that. Brody Little. Then it's Little Menace, and rounding out the field is my girl Emerson Walker, doing a beautiful job out there. She's a superstar. Yellow flag comes out for JD. Getting it done nicely for Land Transport. Down the Carlisle Engineering front straight away is Chase and Dad with Cash Hamilton. They could have at least put Chase Hamilton in the Chase and Dad boat. It would be easier to remember that way, instead of Cash being in... Anyway, I digress. Prime goes through with Chase Hamilton in it. Have I confused anyone yet? But it's JD Land. That's all you need to worry about right now, because he is out in front by quarter of a lap, I'd have to say. And I want this boat tested. I want him tested. I want everything tested. He's too fast. Look at him go. JD Land takes a big win. Mum's happy. Second place, a good drive there from Cash Hamilton. Into third, that's my man Levi Whitten. Fourth place will be Chase Hamilton in prime. Fifth place, this is a good solid drive here for Tyler Kirkpatrick in the little weapon. Then it's a GP, little GP 101, Brody Little. Jet Howard. And rounding out the field is the legend that is the very beautiful Emerson Walker coming through in She's Arrival. Great racing there for the juniors. That race brought to you by Elevated Crane Hire and Rigging. It's a race back to the pits for these kids. Okay, that was the junior racing. We'll be back with more racing in just a moment. We'll take a short break. Well, in actual fact, we won't take a break because it sounds like Russell may have Harrow in just about 20 seconds. So we'll head over. Russell, when you're ready with Harrow, we'll get a word from him. Have to know about that blowover, please. Near blowover.
Yeah, thanks, Bisho. The great Grant Harrison just extricating himself from the Tirana. He's raced the Commodore in the race before. A little bit of bark missing off the side of the boat here after that that incident. I'm sure they've packed some white 100-mile-an-hour tape with stripes on it, which will match perfectly. Big day, Harrow. What happened?
Yeah, I'm not sure what corner it was in, but yeah, a couple of times there we got a bit loose in the corner and bounced, and the boat slammed into the wash of the other boats going around. So I wouldn't know what corner it was, but I know there's a few hard hits out there. It was choppy. It was raceable. It was just good choppy water.
Your skills came to the fore. You're obviously extremely experienced in the bigger boat. Skills came to the fore and kept the boat in control and kept yourself upright.
Yeah, absolutely. There's one there in that last lap, I think. We got the boat a little bit loose, and the radio man did say to me, there's a bit of wind coming down the front chute. Next thing you know, it was flying skywards. But that was a grouse race with young Oscar, that first lap. I probably haven't driven as hard as that for a long time. It was 10 tenths and everything else, Spartan. I was in his wash on the outside and a bit of water on the windscreen, and I'm hoping he didn't drift out, so I couldn't quite see. I was trying to keep this really tight line as I could, and he was driving really grouse, and Yeah, it was a ripper race. It was a lot of fun. Sad we got a bit of damage, but that's racing. You get it sometimes.
Yeah, it's an absolute privilege for everybody here to see. You know, you're about my age, so we're becoming the elder statesmen of the sport against young guys like Oscar. Beautifully presented boat, well presented young man, and an absolute talent. The sport's in safe hands.
Yeah, look, I loved racing with him. He's predictable. He did everything I expected him to do, which was good. And, you know, I don't know if he backed out a couple of times there into the corner or not. I know I didn't, so if he did, next time he probably won't back out and I won't get round him. Yeah, but that's good racing. It's fun, and it'd be lovely if there was, you know, 2 or 3 others out there doing the same sort of speed, and it could be any one of the 4 of us. And there are a couple other boats out there, and we're missing Brad Holland this year, because last year he used to give me a hell of a hard time and beat me on a few occasions when he's on the inside, and it won't be long before Oscar's beaten me as well.
Absolutely. Thanks, Harrow. I appreciate you spending time with us. You've got a big weekend still to go. All the best for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, we've got to get back to GP1 now and have a look at the data on that after the last race. We've got out of the GP, climbed straight into the 1.6 and back to the GP now.
All the best, mate. Thank you.
Thanks, Rusty. I'll tell you what, mate, he thinks he got a little bit high. Wait till he watches the footage, mate. I think he might change his tune, because that thing was nearly gonski. Rightio, so our 1800 and F4 category boats hitting the water again. Boats you're looking for, Rebound with Charlie Kerwood, Retro Waterfall in the red line, the Big Kahuna with Max second, and Go RV Marine with Jackson second. Quite a few of these categories we see brothers racing against brothers and brothers racing against sisters and sisters against sisters. That's how good powerboat racing is, a family sport. Everybody does it together and has a good time in cool locations like Lake Eppalock.
Rubbish at me. I don't accept $100 bills. I don't accept $100 notes.
Okay, 20 seconds to start now for our 1800 and F4 boats as they charge to the line. 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I tell you what, it doesn't get any better than that, and it is Charlie Kerwood that nails the start in the Rebound. What can he do here? Have a look. Oh, geez, tight into the first corner. Everyone holds their line beautifully. But Jackson second just threw it in there on pole position, as he's got every right to do. But I tell you what, there was no fear in his heart, as my old mate Andrew Murphy would say. He just threw it in, and he wants to get the job done. His brother's knocked him off a couple of times this weekend, so he wants to try and get the job done over Maxi here. So Jackson second up into the top turn. Max second on the outside of him. And that's a position that Max hasn't been in yet. And the other thing that hasn't happened with these guys is the two tunnels are actually in front of the two monos. The monos have led all weekend. Kerwood just needs to get a little bit more trim into that rebound boat, not to drive it for him while I'm sitting on the bank, but I will. Trim it up, son, don't be frightened of it. Down into turn number one for the second time, and Rhett Waterfall doing a beautiful job in that red line boat. So he gets around Max second, right the inside of him, and now he's got Jackson second in his sights and accelerates hard down the back chute. Interesting mixture of boats, these guys. Of course, we got mono hulls and tunnel hulls out there, and they have totally different characteristics, and we've got totally different engine combinations as well. We've got on the red line boat, the mono that's just poked its nose into the lead momentarily until they go into the corner, and Jackson pokes his nose back into the lead. But so the boat that Jackson's driving is a tunnel boat, obviously, two hulls with an air trap down the centre, and it's running a 60 horsepower 4-stroke Mercury. Not 100% sure on the actual engine capacity on those. I'll find that out for you. On the outside, you've got a 1800cc V4 2-stroke Yamaha, so totally different combination. Oh, I tell you what, that was second, just went in deep there, and then used that tunnel boat cornering ability to just make ground there on Waterfall. So Waterfall really up against it, being on the outside of him here at the moment. And this is an enthralling race because Seckham definitely knows the advantage of the boat that he's in, but Waterfall has a little bit of pace on him in a straight line. Now Waterfall can dictate the corner here as they go up into turn number 2. This will be yellow flag lap, so it'll be one to go after this. Oh, and Seckham goes round and over. Seckham's over. So that'll be red flag, I'm sure. Boat is upside down. So hopefully it'll be okay. And we see Jackson get out of the boat all right. We're just waiting for his helmet to pop up. So Rhett Waterfall, red flags come out. We just wait for the helmet to pop up from Secco there. So Jackson Seckham, his brother Max has seen the boat go over, so he'll be a little bit concerned at the moment. And I think I can see a driver just coming out there. I'll have a look on the screen here. Focusing in. Divers go straight in. We see to help extricate him out of the hull. So I'm just waiting here. I just can't confirm at the moment, but for all the connections. Driver's out of the boat, thank you. And from what I can see, his arms are up and he's conscious and moving around. And mate, these boats are very safe. These cockpits are very safe, and I'm sure he'll be fine. So good news. Jackson's out of the boat. They're going to they'll load him into the stretcher on the rescue boat. That is standard procedure. And they'll bring him back to the bank. So based upon that and knowing what I know about boat racing, that's going to be a few minutes to get done. So Rusty, I think you're down in the pits, mate. Have you got anyone for us?
Yeah, I've got Russell Jones here. Now, I've just been eavesdropping, having a talk with the great Greg Holland. Don't know what you learned there, but a few suggestions on how to tackle this short course, Russ. How's it going today?
Oh, it's going okay. It's going good. Yeah, just yeah, you got to try and get the best out of it, and that's all we can do.
She's running nice. Starts up nice. It seems to have overcome its fluffy habits of flooding up and stuff like that. Going okay?
Yeah, it starts nice. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
Just got to make the most of this short course and see how much you can shorten it yourself.
That's all we can do. Make the most of it.
Well, you're certainly making the crowd happy. It's a beautiful thing to watch, and keep entertaining us, please, mate.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. That's good.
Cheers.
Thanks, Rusty. Yeah, I've got a few friends here, and they couldn't care if that boat came last by 3 laps. It's just awesome to listen to and watch it go around. And it's been quite competitive at the moment as well, so fantastic stuff. So we're just getting Jackson's little mess cleaned up here. And we will be back with more racing very soon, folks. So it might be time just to grab yourself something to eat, something to drink, and we'll take a short break up here in commentary and might do the same. And we'll be back with more in just a moment. Outside of him is Tyler Scott in the Little Hurricane, and then Kim Byrne on the far outside with the Mazda engine running strong in the Holy Smoke Machine. Back straight away now, and it's Oscar Stevenson who has grabbed pole off Wendy Gill, and as she goes out the back door quite substantially. Not sure if there's a problem there or not, but she gets going again now in the Miss Hydromania. That's a shame. She had a good run down into turn number 1, but the battle is going to go on between these two hard chargers. Oscar Stevenson, his foot will not lift, I can absolutely guarantee you there, and I can probably say the same thing about Grant Harrison as the Melton Toyota Melton Toyota 86 or 100, whatever you want to call it, is down the front straight away. Side by side, gunnel to gunnel and deck to deck as they tip into the bottom turn. Harrison round the outside of Stevenson at the moment, but Stevenson doing a good job. I tell you what, there's a real battle going on for 3rd, 4th and 5th at the moment. Wendy Geelan on the inside there. Tyler Scott on the outside of her, and then on the far outside is Kim Byrne. So it's a race in 2 at the moment. Have a look at these two absolutely going at it. The Melton Toyota 100, which is what I tried to spit out before and couldn't do, is doing a beautiful job there. Oscar Stevenson and Grant Harrison exit turn number 2, gunnel to gunnel and deck to deck. Now Harrison starting to stamp some authority, as he did in his Grand Prix boat as well. He's been a busy boy this weekend. Oh, and he stands the boat right up. Be careful there, Harrow. Stevenson does the same thing as these boats, dancing from sponson to sponson. Down through the bottom turn, and Harrison's really having to think about what he's doing here at the moment. Probably being challenged harder in this category than he was in the Grand Prix category. Great little battle going on for 3rd and 4th respectively there between Tyler Scott on the inside and the Little Hurricane and Kim Byrne in Holy Smoke. Top turn now, and it's Harrow who's got a good little break now for 1st place, and he's going to pick up the yellow flag and set off on his final lap here for Lucas Oils in the National Drivers' Championship Heat 1B. Oh, Harrison nearly blew it over. Oh my goodness, there was nothing in the water. The boat, absolute heart-stopping stuff. I tell you what, he'll be out to the Heathcote dry cleaners after that one. Harrow nearly over backwards. That's as close as I've ever seen one without one actually going. Harrow's trying everything very, very hard. Tyler Scott, same deal, dancing from sponsor to sponsor. Kim Byrne on the outside of him. Harrow, he'll be glad to see this checkered flag. I tell you what, that was wild. That was off the scale. Grant Harrison, what a drive to save. That was absolutely impeccable. Well done, Grant Harrison, taking the win in Heat 1B of the National Drivers' Championship for 2026 for Lucas Oils. Oscar Stevenson into 2nd place. Coming up through the top turn now, and it is Little Hurricane. Tyler Scott will pick up 3rd place. A great run from him. Kim Byrne comes through for 4th place, and Wendy Geelan rounds out the field. And that wraps up the 1.6 litre Auslight hydroplanes for the National Drivers' Championship. And I think, Rusty, who have you got down in the pits there for us, please, mate? Remember, Paul Cunningham won a Griffith Cup in that particular boat. Tell you what, Clark's not mugging around, he's straight into it. It's obviously got oil pressure and temperature he's pretty happy with, and he's just starting to lean on this boat. They did sustain some damage to this boat, and they've had to put in a mountain of work to put it back on the water, but I tell you what, he's not scared of it. He actually at the St George Motorboat Club Spectacular around about 6 months ago had a huge off in this boat as it did a flat spin at around about 150 miles an hour, and unfortunately did quite a bit of hull damage to the boat. So the boys have got it back together. They have raced it since, so they're just slowly creeping up on it, but they'll be very keen now to really try and take it up to what everyone understands is the world-class GP1 team. Graham Harrison will be here to try and win this one. It's a 2-round series, National Drivers' Championship. If you want to know how the point system works, you can jump onto the National Drivers' Championship Facebook page and it's all there for you. But championship run over 2 rounds this year. Second round will be a Lake Glen Maggie in Victoria as well. So Clark looks like he's done. Hopefully he's happy with what he's seen in terms of the data and pressures and temperatures in that particular boat. And GP 101 sounds strong, looks good, and that is their practice run for the NDC done and dusted. So I think Rusty's just lurking around down in the pits there, and probably going to try and grab hold of James Tate. We need a little bit more information on James. He's had this boat for quite some time, but I haven't seen it race in this livery, and certainly looked fantastic on its warm-up and practice lap. So we've got some very high quality Grand Prix hydroplanes here this weekend, and that is going to be super exciting for everybody here at the 2026 Eppalock Gold Cup meeting and National Drivers' Championship. Big shout out to all of our wonderful sponsors, of course, Land Transport, Kite and Crane Hire, Gilflight Boats, also Patches Canvas Manufacturing, MSC Signs, and Mitre 10 in Heathcote. Leroy's Backhoe Hire Proprietary Limited, Elevated Crane Hire and Rigging, Lucas Oils, City of Greater Bendigo, Boris the Boxer Productions, Carlisle Engineering, Accountable Caravan Covers and Flyovers, and of course Sustainable Solar and Plumbing. Rusty, I think you might be down there, are you, mate? Okay, so we've got displacement boat heading out onto the water now. And it is the always pumping machine, the cheeky chap himself, Dennis Basala. I had a chat with Dennis this morning. He's happy with the way the boat's going. They've been creeping up on this particular boat, and I tell you what, they've done a fantastic job, because when he initially put this boat together, or his brother actually put this boat together, and they really struggled to get it handling. And even talking to Rob Basala, he really had a lot of drama trying to get this boat settled, and they've done a fantastic job because the boat is really going very well. Dennis did mention to me this morning that it's had a little bit of a strange little mess in it that they just can't quite figure out at the moment. He said all the mixtures, the airflow ratio, the lambdas are all correct in it, so it's not a fueling issue. They don't think it must be some sort of little electrical gremlin. Having said that, the boat's been going very well, so he's done certainly very well in last season's National Drivers' Championship for displacements. Oh, and he gets on it and it pops. So I'm not sure if Dennis is just feeling his way around the course at the moment. Conditions look very nice out there at the minute. Just that nice little wind chop just to get the boat sitting up on top of the water. Whilst he's going around, I think we might have Russell down the pitch. I'll just check with you boys. Russell, you there?
G'day again, folks. Russell down in the pits. I'm with James Tate, pilot of the GP55 High Tension Grand Prix hydroplane. First of the big boats on the water this weekend, James. How'd you go? How'd it feel?
Yeah, all felt good. Just a bit of a warm-up run. We've had some new engine parts from Mountain Products in the States that went in a couple of weeks ago, so that's our first water test. Felt really rich. Water conditions are favourable. Track feels really good. So the boys will just take the data out of the boat now, start putting a decent tune-up into it. Everything felt really good to get back on the water. We'll be starting on the outside, so yeah, wish them the best. Great to bring it back to the bank.
Yeah, it's great to have you here, and a family of great tradition in powerboat racing, the Tate family, although not in hydroplane racing. Some degree of sacrilege, I should imagine. What sort of combo are you running?
Yeah, so it's actually this engine's an engine that Dad used to run years back. So 540 cube with a 1471, like a 380 23-degree cylinder head, makes around somewhere between 15 and 1700 horsepower if I can hold it flat. That was about sort of 60% throttle then, so it's kind of hard to ask for more when you can't use what it's got. But there's plenty left in the boat. Felt fast, turned well. Both the crew chiefs on the boat, my dad and Chris Whalen from Whalen Motorsports, they're both displacement guys, plenty of experience. We just decided to go a little bit of a different way with the hydro. Good fun, turns fast. Actually, everything about them is really, really hard except for the driving part. That's the best fun.
Good way of putting it. Good way of putting it. And I can see the guys are working on the boat. I want to leave you to it, but we're going to catch up with you over the weekend. Wish you all the very best of luck in both the Eppalock Gold Cup and the first round here of the National Drivers' Championship.
Yeah, thanks everyone coming out and supporting us.
Good on you, mate. Thank you.
Thanks, Rusty. Beautiful. James, of course, Peter Tate, from the high tension days, the blown displacement driver's son. And as Rusty said, going into a hydroplane, a little bit sacrilegious for a displacement family. But I'll tell you what, he'll know how to steer the thing. Grant Harrison now heading out onto the water in the GP1. Harrow, you would expect would be the class of this field. Super experienced team. Multiple 9-time EC Griffith Cup winner. And a fantastic supporter of powerboat racing in this country. There's not anything that Harrow hasn't really done in a hydroplane, and he actually, the GP 101 boat that we just saw go out was Harrison's boat prior to this boat, so he certainly knows his opposition very, very well. He knows the game very well. And this team will go out and they'll go through their process and procedure, do their warm-ups, but they will desperately want to win their second National Drivers' Championship. Of course, winning the inaugural National Drivers' Championship last year was only a one-round series at Lake Glenmaggie. Round number 2 will be at Lake Glenmaggie, 7th and 8th of November. Harrison now starting to lean on from GP1. I'll tell you what, Harrison looks fairly serious. He's hit a race. This boat will be cracking 160 miles an hour down this back straightaway now as it dances from sponsor to sponsor. Harrison wants to lean on this thing. He's hit a race this weekend. Already in his opening laps of practice, looking super quick. I think he wants to throw the gauntlet down and say, if you blokes want to beat us, you're going to have to be fast. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Heat 1B for 6-litre hydroplanes for the National Drivers' Championship for 2025. And unfortunately, we've got a straggler out the back, but I've got Brendan Anderson on pole position here in the AMR, and we've got on the outside of him Lockie Vella, and it is going to be on between these two as it was in the previous heat. Here we go. Anderson runs a nice tight line there in the AMR. Vella goes with him though, both these young guns pushing hard. Unfortunately, we've had the Stampede boat, Paul Jones, they have had drama all day. Unfortunately, that has not improved for them. So he'll go through. I don't know whether he's going to try and collect points. No, that boat will come into the pitch. Right, so race in two now for the NDC. The AMR boat on the inside. The Impatient boat on the outside. Lockie Vella has got a little bit of a stranglehold over the top of Brendan Anderson now. Anderson runs through the wash of the Vella boat as Vella commands pole position now, and he's going to be tough to catch from here. So for Lucas Oils and the National Drivers' Championship down the back straight away, it is Lockie Vella in the Impatient. Second place, the Anderson Motorsports, Brendan Anderson. And again, apologies to the Anderson team for getting it wrong the last time around. Down through the bottom turn. And Lockie Vella looks like he's actually starting to do this easy. So Anderson needs to find something here. He needs to find some pace. Boat looks good, it sounds good. Oh, he does stand that left-hand sponson right up. He's got a bit of a headwind now, or they've both got a headwind coming down the front straight away for Lucas Oils. The National Drivers' Championship 2026, Heat 1B. Down through the bottom turn, the yellow flags are produced, so one to go here for Lockie Vella. He's just got to bring this boat home now. Fresh engine in this boat. They are trying to look after a little bit, but I tell you what, the potential of this thing is unbelievable. It's the AMR boat, Anderson Motorsports, pushing hard to try and make up some ground. In fact, Vella has backed down. This is interesting. Let's see what happens here. Vella's going to need to be a little bit careful here playing that game, because Anderson will come at him hard towards the end. Vella knows he's there, and I'm sure Vella's got the pace to get away from him if he needs to, but you don't want him getting too close. Could be a very embarrassing mistake if you let Anderson come in over the top of you on the final lap. So the Impatient Lockie Vella comes through, drifting and sliding down through the bottom turn. And Vella does it in fine style, quite easily in the end over Brendan Anderson. The AMR. And that is checkered flag for the National Drivers' Championship for 2026 for 6-litre hydros. Round number 1. Don't forget, round number 2 will be at Glen Maggie on the 7th and 8th of November. Make sure you get down to that one. Oh, just had word our patient, Secco, is all clear, which I'm not surprised about. Very safe, these boats. It's great to see, but Jacko is fine. So if you're watching at home, your connections, family that aren't here, Jackson's fine, guys. He's got a bit of work to do on a boat, though. Got to dry that thing out. And well, there might have been a little bit of fiberglass damage to it as well. So put your hands together, Lockie Vella, ladies and gentlemen. First place, Brendan Anderson in AMR in second place. And unfortunately, the Stampede boys with all sorts of drama down there. They just haven't been able to get this boat right. It ran strong first thing this morning, but since then something's gone astray and they're just struggling to find it, I feel, at the moment. So you've had a bit of Okay, flag drops and we are racing. Unlimited displacement. Ruthless gets the lead early. Always running on pole. Will use that to his advantage. Jason Jones turns it in nice and hard. Boat sounds pretty strong actually, and Jason Jones commands turn number 1. Runs in and holds Pasala nice and firm and tight there. Ruthless down the back straight. Now Pasala lays the power down. This boat is super quick, the twin turbo, big block. But Jones charges hard up into the top turn. Jason Jones doing a beautiful job here as he tips the boat into the port and turn at the top end of the course. Ruthless now just holding out. Pasala's always coming. Very, very close. Head up into the top turn. Pasala just backs out a little bit as he tries to get the boat set up for the corner. Jones runs a beautiful arc, a beautiful line through there, and he's driving this boat beautifully at the moment. Oh, Pasala goes past. Jones has a little bit of trouble getting the power down, and that left the door open for Pasala just to drive past him. Yeah. Alrighty, boat's heading out onto the water, and this is speed category racing. We love this stuff. 85.95. We've got the one more. No, we haven't. Oh, yes, it is. That is on the outside there. One more with Nathan Bartzak. We've got the Point Blank Reloaded, Shane Northey, and the two hard chargers. We got Tommy Webster in the Madam, and of course the wild man that is Mickey Godsell in the Moonshine. I'm the only bloke that calls him Mickey. No one else calls him Mickey. Well, don't think anyone else calls him Mickey. Well, he looks at me like I'm an idiot, but you know, that's okay. I'll tell you what, we've got a nice crowd. Is everyone enjoying themselves? You all out there in the sun, you having a good time? It's a good boat race, isn't it? Where else would you want to be? Everyone's set up with their shade tents, and make sure you got the sunblock on, you guys out there in the sun. Yeah, good job. And girls. I won't limit it to guys, it's just that guys are stupider than girls, that's all. Yeah, mate, you know I'm right. Here we go. White flag up. Speed bracket racing. We've got Mickey Godsell on pole. He's going to be hard to get around from there, I reckon. But Tommy Webster with the pace down the front straight away. Have a look at the matter. Plenty on that turn number 1. And it is tight. Very tight. Godsell hard on the gunnel of the Point Blank there. That is as good and tight a racing as you'll ever see. Fantastic stuff. Beautifully driven by all three drivers there. We've got the one more, Bartzak, a little bit out the back door, but the Point Blank, have a look at this thing, absolutely on it. Shane Northey He's found about an extra 50 horsepower out of this boat since this morning, because he is on fire now as he comes down the front straight away. And the other two can only watch him drive away. Point blank reloaded. Shane Northey leads back to Tommy Webster in the Madam. And Mickey Godsell in the moonshine. Charging hard. Zach struggling for a little bit of pace there in the one more. Back shoot now, and it is still Northey in the point blank reloaded. This boat looks like a different boat to what we saw this morning. He was struggling a little bit this morning, but I tell you what, no struggles now. And Northey tips that boat in hard. Nearly lost his packet of Winnie Blues off the dashboard as he went round that bottom corner. Point blank reloaded, back to Moonshine, back to Webster in the Madam. Yellow flag comes out, 1 lap to go for these guys. This race brought to you by Kite and Crane Hire. And a big shout out to Leroy at Leroy's Backhoe and Plan Hire as well. As the point blank, going to be hard to knock him off from here. Godsell's going to have to come up with a miracle if he's going to get over the top of Northey here in this one. Shane Northey lets it all hang out, and point blank takes a strong win. First one for the weekend. He'll be pumped with that one. Godsell won't be too happy. He's had it all his own way so far. But not in that one though. And a great drive there from both of those guys. Tight racing. Madam Tommy Webster just couldn't stay with the front pack there. And Bartzak just lacking a little bit of top end in the one more. Well, the bracket racing always supplies plenty of action, and that race was no exception. Very impressed Shane Northey. I just didn't think he had the pace to go after this morning's efforts, but they've obviously worked hard on that boat in the pits and got it to the front of the pack, and not only that, taken a win, so great stuff. Brilliant first corner by all drivers. Mickey Godsell in the moonshine, good VSBC boy. So Shane Northey point blank taking the win there. And my man Russell Embleton is going to get a word with Shane, because they've really got that boat percolating here this afternoon. Watch Tommy Webster bring the Madam home. Tom, of course, son of the great man Bobby Webster, who we lost probably a year and a half ago, 2 years ago maybe. And it's great to see Tom campaigning his dad's boat and doing such a good job of it as well. Bobby was a stalwart of the Victorian Speedboat Club. The big boats are being craned in now. As Benny Clark there just goes in the GP 101. And the big girl, the Aussie Connection, big Rolls Royce Merlin being craned in as well. Thank you, Rusty. I think you're going to grab Shane Northey. We'd be really interested to hear. They've made some changes to that boat, I'd say, because that was a different boat in that race, and he did really, really well. Let's see what he has to say, please, Rusty.
Yeah, thanks, Bisho. Just caught him on the boat ramp here. Good race there, Shane. You happy with the way things are going, mate?
Yeah, a lot better than our last couple of races. No, we fine-tuned it a bit more, and the water was definitely a lot better for us. So yeah, pretty happy with that one.
Yeah, the water's interesting. We're getting some late gusts of wind as the day wears on. You're finding that a little bit unpredictable lap by lap?
Very much so, and yeah, it depends on what lane you draw to how rough it is as well, you know, but it tends to stay rough at that far end for some reason. It just stays rough all day.
Yeah, it's just blowing around the corner there, I guess. What have you changed on the boat today during the course of the day that's brought things to a better outcome for you?
We played with the cab plates a little bit and tried to get our speeds under control a little bit more. We're getting a bit close there to our speeds, so we just tweaked that so we knew we weren't going to break out, basically.
Good stuff. Well, I'm pleased for you that things are going well. A bit more racing tomorrow. Rest up tonight. Well done.
Thanks,
Hey,
mate.
Rusty, just while if you've still got him there, I'd just like to ask him about the first corner if you've still got him there. That was really tight. Great driving by all three drivers.
I have still got him here. Bisho's just asked me, Shane, about that first corner. Fairly tight.
It was tight, but I believe we stayed in our lane. There was enough room there for another boat, but he just wasn't there to take it.
It's all about perspective too, I guess. What we see from the bank and obviously what you see from the cockpit are two completely different things sometimes.
I've got a lot closer view.
Very good. Good on you, mate. Thank you.
Thank you, mate. Bye.
Thanks, Rusty. Yeah, that was great driving. All three drivers just held their line and just no quarter given. Love that stuff, and so clean and so tight. What boat racing's all about. Fantastic. We'll take a little bit of a break. We're loading the big bangers into the water. A couple more races yet to go, folks. Don't go anywhere, because if you do, you'll miss it.
There's only one heat of each class. So yeah, this is the wrong thing on the front. Second time round for big boys, and that's it. And then I think Stampede's going out trying, they've got a fuel pressure issue. Yeah. So they're trying to find, they think they've sorted it, but they want to go and have a run. I've called for two heats, heat 1A and heat 1B. Are you turning the thing on and off? Yeah, I have. Legend. And both still in the Thanks, Bishop. All right, mate. Sharing the love. Nice.
Have a look at the big Aussie connection trying to fire up literally as the flames come out of the big Rolls-Royce Merlin. Don't be concerned, folks, that's quite normal. One of these big girls trying to fire. Let's just hope it hasn't filled itself up. Nobody gets going. It's hard to start. There's a procedure that you have to go through in a Rolls-Royce Merlin to get them to fire. Unfortunately, this is not looking good for the Aussie connection. White flags up, and this will be a problem because this boat, if it doesn't start, it's going to drift onto the race course. Oh, there she goes. Fired. Good job. Russell Jones gets the Aussie connection fired up. Get into it, son. You've got to get there. National Drivers' Championship. Heat 2 for Grand Prix hydroplanes. Aussie connection fires on, coughs and fluffs. Now it goes. He's going to be behind the pack here. The real race is going to be between the three GPs. Fantastic to see James Tate and the team get the GP 55 going. It's on the course. It's out 3 wide. White flags up on the start boat. Go, go, go. Some Colwyn racing. 2026 Grand Prix hydroplane. 3 boats. And the 4 down through the bottom turn. GP 101 on pole. Start boat has to do a little bit of evasive work from the Aussie connection. Down up into the top turn now. GP1, Grant Harrison pushing hard. These boys have got a pretty strong headwind down in the Lucas Oil's front straight away now. Harrison pushing hard. He nearly blew over his 1.4. More carefully this thing because the consequences are much, much greater. Eddie Clark doing a beautiful job on pole, running up into second spot at the moment. The GP 55 running into back straight away now. Grant Harrison starting to command the lead here in the GP1. Ben Clark in the 101 doing a great job, running hard on the pins, trying to take the short way round. For Lucas Oils now, GP1 front straight away. Grant Harrison really starting to read the neck of the GP1. He knows he's got a commanding lead now. GP 101, the wind really starting to blow through. GP 55 now. James Tate. Jones is on the hard charge. He can see that GP hydroplane in his sights and he wants to try and get him. Yellow flag out now. 1 lap to go for these guys, and it's Grant Harrison for Lucas Oils down the front straight away in the GP1. The boat sounding absolutely dynamic and hanging in there as well after all the mechanical problems they've had over the last couple of years. GP 101, Ben Clark doing a beautiful job. He'd be very happy with a second to the class that is GP1 and Grant Harrison. Have a look at this, Aussie connection, having a look at James Tate, the GP 65 now. He's got 1 lap to go. Can Jones get the job done in the big unlimited aero engine hydroplane? Checkered flag comes out, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. The Grant Harrison wins Heat 2 of the National Drivers' Championship heats here at Lake Eppalock. Benny Clark comes through to second place, a fair way back. Harrison has been dominant. But have a look at this, the race for third now. Jones, can he get around the outside of Tate? Tate will know he's there. His crew chief will be on the radio. Tate manages to hold him out for third place. Russell Jones brings the Aussie connection home for fourth place. And I tell you what, Gracie, If that big aeroplane doesn't get your hair standing back on the back of your neck, I'll give you the number to my doctor, because there's something wrong in your noodle. You got no heart. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. Grant Harrison, GP1 for Melton Toyota and Lucas Oils, takes the win in Heat 2. Finals tomorrow, don't forget. Give it up for Harrow. Stunning drive from him, as always. His team's so professional. Benny Clark, what a drive. Keep it coming for him as they come back into the pits. And in the GP55, James Tate. Fantastic run from him after that big spin out in heat number 1. And Russell looks like he might be getting a toe in. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the final race of the day. We do have Stampede. They've been chasing that fuel issue in that boat for, well, all day, unfortunately, for the boys, the Jones boys. But they're working hard on it, and that boat is going out again. So if you want to watch some more boats just going around bloody fast, hopefully it does go around fast, and that'll be great stuff. So that wraps up racing for the day. That'll wrap up our live stream. Paulie, can you see me? Can everyone see me all right? I need to crouch down a little bit. There you go. This is good exercise for me. Hey, thanks for watching on the live stream, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the racing today. I hope you enjoyed the commentary. I hope you enjoyed what was great NDC as well. It was fantastic as always. We've still got finals to come tomorrow as well in the NDC. We've got the Eppalock Gold Cup. We've got the Max Curl, and plenty to happen tomorrow. For the people on site here, let's head up to the clubhouse. We might have a refreshing ale, and you can go into the pits, check out the boats. Big thank you to Matthias Stanisic and also Shorty Henchwood, 321 Ignition, and my man, of course, GP Hydro live streaming. I've got Big Neil over here. Thank you, Neil. Paulie on the camera I'm looking at now. Scotty's been locked away in his little dungeon all day. The beautiful Gracie, while she's up here waving flags with me. She fed me all day, folks. That's why I'm getting fat. Thanks a lot, everybody. It's been fantastic. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Thanks for all the messages and stuff, even when I got stuff wrong. Platsy, I know you keep thinking I'm perfect. I'm far from it. Thanks, everyone, for all the messages, all the kind words, all the bad words, whatever it takes. As long as you're watching boat racing, that's all we care about. We'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, that's right.